Okay, we have a fantastic guest today.
Who?
My uncle. It's like somebody's coming in later. Uncle Kenny Mayne is here. First of all, Kenny, hi. How you doing?
Why does everybody what are you, like, how old are you?
I don't know. Why do you care?
Well, you're catching up, but
38.
all the girls like you always do the uncle thing or dad.
Yeah.
Like, does that make you feel younger just to make fun of my age?
No, it makes it feel
Reverential?
established, like I look up to you. But you are old, and I'm not as old as you.
Facts.
Uncle Ken.
True.
Also, a lot of people believed it. People on the internet now just hear what they hear, and they were like, that's how Katie got her job, is
that's
because
right.
Kenny Mayne is her uncle.
I remember that.
I was like, that's so...
It's true.
So true. How did they figure it out? Your Sportscenter, what was the year of, like, when you and Dan Patrick were on what year was that? 90?
Like 97 to 99-ish.
I was 10. But I remember. But I was 10. Because I'm so young. That was, I think, for a lot of people...
The golden era.
Yeah, I mean, yes. But it was also, it was the thing that I'm trying to do with this show that I feel like is gone from that four-letter network, which is it's like approachable, it's interesting, it's funny, it has personality, and it gets you all the sports that you need. Do you feel like that's gone, too?
I don't know. I think... People ask that or say it's gone downhill. Or I don't know. There's a lot of great people doing great shows every day. And in fact, you could argue in some ways it's a better show, right? It's technology has gotten better.
Certainly.
We used to have to do fixes. People know what fixes are, where you have to clean up the errors of fact so that when it re-airs the next day, it's clean, right? For Norby to watch. And we would take forever. They were using 2-inch tape in the back room, and we're trying to meet an edit point with a nanosecond of space. Nope, do it again. It would be 4:30 in the morning. You're just like, now you make fixes during commercial breaks. They'll just say Krivo-Krasov, or, some foreign name. So I don't know if the shows are worse. The only thing that I've noticed is there's more of the argument shows or opinion shows, hot opinions. That was never for me. No problem with the people who are doing it. There's an audience for it for sure. But I was more like, what happened tonight? Let's talk about it and do it in a fun way and make jokes and be silly and laugh at ourselves and whatever, right? Like the immediacy of no-hitter just happened. Steph Curry just hit the three. And you're on the air like 2 minutes later. It's like you have adrenaline for that. Where I can't fake it till let's talk about the Seahawks draft needs. I hope they get some big fat guys that block for our new quarterback. Just the lovable linemen. They still have baby fat, and they block, and they go to dinner together and bowling. And I want those guys. That's my Seahawks draft analysis.
That's really good
We made
stuff.
some changes out there.
We'll get to the draft.
No, we just covered
We're
it.
still on your Wikipedia. In 2010, you were in a movie called Kung Fu Magoo.
That's a fact. It was
What is that?
It was animated,
Yeah.
I think. I just did voiceover. Somebody called and said, hey, do you want to do voiceover?
But you voiced over Kenny Mayne. You were yourself. You played yourself.
Yeah, it was an odd... I remember it was in New York, I believe. I came down here, got to stay in a hotel. That was cool.
Fancy.
Yeah, I did that. I was cut out of Trainwreck. That's the one I was most proud of.
Oh.
Judd Apatow's the director. There's no script. Amy Schumer and Bill Hader, they're the ones who have the love interest, right?
Yeah.
And she's being ignored at the Doctors Without Borders banquet where he's getting an award, right? She's in the back milling around. Just go up to her and be kind of a jerk. Hit on her and be kind of a jerk. I said, just say anything? So I said, so are you a doctor's wife or a prostitute, or is there really a difference? And I don't mean any disrespect to prostitutes or
doctors' wives.
Either one. They just said be a jerk.
That was it.
Yeah.
And it got cut.
It's bullshit.
Do you think it's because you weren't enough of a jerk, or do you think it's because it was too accurate and they didn't like it?
I don't know. I apologized to her after. I said, I'm sorry if I was, no, that's what you're supposed to do. Then there was another scene with Tony Romo and Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah.
I said some other stupid shit, and it all got cut. But I'm on the extras, and I get these tiny checks every quarter.
You do?
Right-
You're still getting residuals?
Right now, that's our main source of income.
I was going to ask.
Why do you think I made it this stupid show I'm doing tonight?
Because you believe in it.
I do believe in
Because it's funny.
it. It will be funny.
I'm going to go. I'll be
I hope
there.
you do. I ran out of free tickets. I'm going to give you $12, and you buy your own.
I'm not even on the list.
I got it.
This is your only press you're doing.
Here, take a 20. No, I have to do like.
Do you have two? I'll take two.
No, just
I got to cover my train to get there.
That's most of the money I have to my name.
Yeah, well, thank you, Ken.
But if you're on the list, you have to give me that money back.
Okay, but I won't be. You just said that I
No.
wouldn't be.
I think they're going to let me do an addendum.
Am I going to get a +1?
Yeah,
I think he has
of
spots
course.
anyway. I don't think he can
No,
come.
bring him in. Come
What?
show my
Stop.
Uncle Gordy, who taught me horse racing.
Yeah.
Put your fingers out like that.
Like this?
Yeah. Did you ever do this as a little kid? No, you can't touch it.
You didn't give me any rules. You
Go
just.
like that.
Okay, and then
Okay.
what do I do?
Try to catch it, but you didn't.
But I didn't know,
I know.
what was happening.
You missed. But usually you give the kid like 3 tries. Wikipedia, where are we?
Oh, here's one I have, a question that I have. Your Wikipedia says you left ESPN in 2021, quote, declining a 60% pay cut. Why does mine get reported that I got fired when the exact same thing happened to me? How'd you get that in there so accurately? That they tried to cut your money and you said, I don't want to work here anymore. That's what I did. But everybody says I got fired.
It was 61% actually.
Damn.
But, no, they previewed it too, said, hey, you're not going to love the offer. We're cutting back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're offering Skip Bayless $40 billion to come and argue about the Mets infield. But
I don't think the Mets infield comes up.
You know what I'm saying? It's an example. So, yeah, there's no malice, though. I mean, it's been 4 years. It's like, here's our offer. They devalued me.
Right.
And I said, I think I can go do better than what you offered. So
I think the problem was that I said, I hate this, but okay, because I had a podcast with a co-host and I didn't want to abandon her. And then right after I said yes and signed it, they laid her off.
Oh.
And then they made me another offer after a year, and I was like, you've got to be kidding. So I left. But that's not what my Wikipedia says.
You need to update your Wikipedia. Get an 18-year-old. They know what to do. What else is factually inaccurate in there?
I think that's mostly it. That's mostly it. I was just curious about I see you as like our fun uncle in sports. Or like wider world of sports, you were like our Bourdain.
Oh, that's a high compliment. And he was doing that show about the same time. We didn't copy it. We were always...
Yeah.
What happened was I was doing the show called Main Street, and that was Aubrey Plaza and Alison Becker and John Glazer and Ben Schwartz. All these... Mulaney was in one show.
Oh, yeah?
Lenny Jacobson, Chris Smith.
Is that do you stream that anywhere? Main Street?
I think it got purged, and I think Musk took it out. I don't know. You
should find it.
You can try to find it. It might be on somebody's Vimeo. No, you can. My favorite one was the first one. I mean, I loved them all, but the very first one was Scott Van Pelt, Alison Becker, me, and Video Cowboy, and it was called Fixes, and it was what we were just talking about, where you have to clean up a show where there's a couple errors. And I sucked that night, and Van Pelt is almost in tears, talking about his marriage counselor, Vikram, and it just is so dumb, but it was so true to life. That really happened. We really did have those insane nights where you just can barely say words. You're so tired, you're just punch drunk. And I would always say something really dumb on the goodbye that would cause us to stay longer, usually. I used to love giving out, hey, one final note, the Charlotte such and suches have brought up middle reliever. You know, it was fun to give out real sports facts, but kind of weird ones, just to be stupid, because that was your moment to be as stupid as you can be.
Yeah. And you always seize that moment.
Absolutely. I ended up doing for a career what got me sent out in the hall in 5th grade, right? I mean,
yeah, same.
What is the dumbest thing to kind of try to own the room? Something absurd, say it fast. Mr. Bell's in the hall. He should have never sent me to 6th grade. I didn't have enough days. I was in the hall literally third of the year.
You missed a lot.
I brought my desk out there at one point, just self-report, like a NCAA violation. But he sent me to Mr. Russick, 6th grade. This is my whole act tonight, actually, telling about my childhood.
Oh, perfect. A little preview. Don't come.
No. I won't tell everything now.
Thank you, Kenny. Tell them again about the show.
I'm not done.
Okay. I think in order for the interview to end, we're just going to have to cut his mic.
Fair enough. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.